Hello. Hello. I hope y'all are doing well. Hope folks out there are a-okay. I'm getting there myself, but I'm yawning. And I'm not enjoying yawning. I have decided that today we shall art stream. What is... Give me 1 second. Cause next week is the 8th. Okay. I'm looking at times. I'm looking at just general dates. Hello, Sabs. Because they announced the new season for Marvel Rivals, and it looks good. Bring out a parrot, you got it. You got it, Sabs. Also, please, if you're in stream, let me know if everything sounds and looks okay. Just because I think this is the first art stream we're doing on the new PC, so I would definitely prefer it if we can catch anything that's not looking right up top. So just let me know. But yeah, so took a poll, decided we're gonna work on some trading cards today. So I'm quality control. I hope you don't have a koala. Those things are wild. For in most senses of the word. You know? I was thinking of. Man, ever since learning more about koala, there's nothing to do with trading cards. Ever since learning more about koalas, I don't like them. It's not that, I mean, they're not, here's the thing, they're like kinda cute, but also they seem to be, let me see, barely alive. Like, they are not intelligent. They literally have smooth brain in the most derogatory way. Are competing for world's most oh shit actually creatures. Yeah, but in different directions. You know what I mean? Because you look at a koala and you're like, oh, that's cute, and then you learn anything about it and you're like, oh no. But then you look at a kangaroo and you're like, oh, that's wild, and then you learn more about it and you're like, oh my lord, this is so much more insane than I thought. So much more extreme. In the 90s radical sports sense. Alright. Who here wants to see me expose myself? Not like that. Other thing. What I mean is, look at these references I have. Do you see them? Do you see the references I have? Billy versus, was that the first thing you came into? Because that would be unfortunate. Yeah, listen, I realized after I said it, okay? Okay. So actually, it occurs to me, I don't think my mouse was showing up when I was looking at this before. Unfortunately, this is my middle name, Mood. I was literally just talking about how bad my luck was at dinner. So I am there with you. But welcome in. Alright. So this is what we're working with. So for the few people here, let me set it up for you, okay? I've kept it pretty close to the chest so far because, you know, I'm not like, I don't think people are gonna steal it, but I'm not just gonna keep like posting my ideas online. Also, hi Paul, in case I didn't say it. So the idea is I'm making these cards, right? I know, great start, cool. I wanted to make something that was in between like poker and blackjack, like very classic card games, and a deck building TCG, like your Yu-Gi-Ohs or what have you, right? So I've come up with something, and I've also tried to mix in my love of narratology, my love of telling stories, and what have you. So, I mean, I'll let y'all in on some of the cards I have set up. I've made 150 cards. Many of which have 3/5 of which have effects. So, like, you know, like I was saying, it is inspired by like narratology and what have you. So we'll have like Gilgamesh, First of Heroes. That's a card. We have a Gentle Giant. We have Aesop of the Forest Fables. There's the Eclipse Butterfly. There's just a lot of different ones that I've been working on, and I have one of the reasons I'm working on the art now is because, like, what was I thinking of? I love Usopp and his fables. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is where he gets his name from. Stealth. I know that's a joke, but I'm sure if you ask Oda, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's like Aesop," you know. Anyway, what was I just thinking of? Damn it! All right, Stealth is here. Hi, Stealth. Yeah, so we watched Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not even hiding it. Like I've talked before about, like, I hope people don't think I got inspired to make Wallop Brothers by One Piece, because One Piece came much later in my life than Wallop Brothers did. I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh and was like, awesome. Like that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. And there's lots to it which I could get into, and I was talking about in Discord today, where I'm like, that's great. I would like to make stories with similar elements, which is how any story gets made. See, blending it all together. Here's the thing. I was literally yelling at Sabs about this in Discord today, and I hope they're okay. I hope they've recovered. Takahashi, original mangaka behind Yu-Gi-Oh, he didn't care about making a TCG. And to some degree, I don't either. I have, like, problems with all different TCGs. He cared about making a cool story. And it just so happened that people liked Duel Monsters, so he went with Duel Monsters. That took a bunch of different directions, right? I don't mind it. I don't criticize it for having loosey-goosey rules at the start, but I do think it's better for the narrative, not even as like a like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was best at this or yada yada. No. Subjectively, I think as a narrative device, it is better for the game to have strict rules. And even if I have to change it down the line for whatever reason, it's best to start out with being like, these are the rules, this is how you play the game, these are how people have built their decks, yada yada yada. It was fun and on track. It was. I was talking, and I should get started on working on stuff. I was talking in Discord today about, like, you know, also, let me think something. I think, so if 300 divided by, like, let's say 75. Let's see if that's good. 75 border. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, one of the things that has made me want to do this is I think it's a really cool narrative device to be like, we are playing a game that has strict rules, and some of us are using cards you've already seen, but we have to use them in different ways. I like that compared to we have a vague power system, and when we need something due, we'll pull it out of our ass. And this is coming from someone who likes a good few shonens. It's just that they pull things out of their ass. So with that in mind... Oh, that's far too big. Let me see something. File... Is it file? File... Where is it? Connect... I mean, maybe I should make a new one. Like, cause like... How big does this look? Not too big. That's fine, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out... Open, save, export, time-lapse, preferences. I mean, preferences maybe? Nope, not that. Edit. Change canvas size. Okay. No, that's good. File. Oh no, it's edit. Change image resolution. Scale resolution. We'll do this. Okay, slightly bigger. That works. And we will get to it. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna try with some of these things. I'm sorry. I need to like know how things work. File. No. It is like I went to school for. I went to college. Pixels. Okay. I'm taking a picture of this. Inch. I mean, like, personally, I measure my dick in pixels. Makes me feel better. Damn. I should ban Stitch for that. Let us see. So... This... with 875 divided by 2.5 divided by 4. You know what? 350 divided by 8. We'll do that. This is like boring. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm figuring out like fucking math. Dixels, if you will. And I do. Frequently. That was actually really good. No, wait, how did I do that? I like lined that up perfectly. Alright. Wait. Closer. Closer. Oh, that works. Yeah. Oh, wait. Alrighty. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, where's everything go? you gotta figure out like borders and shit when you're making this kind of stuff, which is like not fun. Alrighty. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. Here's the thing, right? I'm doing this and I'm saying like, oh, I have like problems with XYZ TCG. You know what? Speaking of, let's do this. Black Magician. It's weird how well this lines up, actually. That upsets me, because I thought this was standard playing card size. But okay. Just to get an idea of how big the art should be. It's Dark Magician. It's his favorite monster. Like, let's see. See, to me that almost feels too big. Maybe smaller. Like, maybe we just actually make it that size. Like, I guess that works. Also, you know what? In the art, so Cahill is more accurate. Yeah, you get when you're listening to the sub of Yu-Gi-Oh! For so long, you're like, oh yeah, it's Black Magician, and you forget why that's a problem. Get like, wait a minute. Was it 875? I believe, yes. 875 divided by 2. 438. So much math. Like I said, they do kind of teach you this in art school, of like, you want these proportions and you want to do this. Don't fuck up and make it look awful. And I'm like, oh, I fucked up and made it look awful. You want to try and avoid that. Yeah. You guys want to know a fun Yu-Gi-Oh fact? Some of the legacy support for Dark Magician includes like Berry Magician Girl and Licorice Magician Girl and Apple Magician Girl. And like, again, in English, his name is Dark Magician, but those characters, their name spells out black. Because original. So that's fun. Divide it by 2. 612. Works for me. Not what I meant to do. Alrighty. And now we're cooking with gas. We will name this Center. That works. I'm trying to just like because I don't actually want it like half and half. I guess that's good. Yeah, because then what we can do is kind of a just drop the fucking meme in the monster slot and we're good. For 100 points. What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh spell card? Meat and fuck kingdom, Steve. Meat and hum. That is a wildly funny comic. I wish, you know, like I wish I could be that funny, but I'm not. I'm a sham. I think that, like, does that look good? Is that okay? Oh my gosh, are you loud? You know what? Give me 1 second here. Here's what. I think aspect ratio again. We love ratios. 1 to 8. Oh wait, beans. I'm a home. May be a sham to those other losers, but you're a sham wow to me. Sham wow. Lord, this is like the most relevant. I will like. I'm not streaming Silk Song. I know no one's asking about that, but like for context, like I don't stream games as they come out, yada yada yada. But I saw a thing today about new Sabrina Carpenter song, because it was because there's a part in it where she goes, "Oh my god," and someone pointed out, it's like, all I can think of is Jennifer Coolidge. Oh my gosh. Wow. When I was struck by Jessica's Jeep Grand Cherokee, I became overpowered with a love that transcends human language. Now I speak English and she speaks villager. That's the only scene we needed from the Minecraft movie. I have not seen any other part of that movie. Just Matt Berry villager and Jessica Coolidge, just their soap opera. That's the only part of that movie I've seen, and the only part that seems to be good. It's very funny. That being said, you could Matt Berry is also very fun to hear just talk. So let me try something actually. Because here's one way we might be able to figure out the best way to actually kind of like actually see where our art space should be. Actually, you know what? Scrap all this. Yeah, listen, yes, I know I suck, okay? Math is hard. Life is hard. Everything is difficult. I know. This is why I don't do my own taxes. Because I would be taken away by the IRS. It's also why my card game is gonna end up I've made it so that the cards currently only have a power from 1 to 5. Least math I have to do. Let's see. Does this look okay? It looks right to me. Oh my good, Greg! Counting higher is tempting fate. Thanks, Greg. You're Dragon Riders now. I saw you were playing Wizard 101. You know, Greg, when I saw the stream preview before stream, it occurred to me just how much you do in fact talk about Wizard 101, and I feel like I haven't appreciated that before. And also, it looks better than I previously thought. I don't know if I'm gonna play. I will say I'll get ahead of you in that right now. Just because I'm not an MMO guy. But I was like, oh. But I hope you had fun. I hope you had a great time learning how to train your dragon. Lord, we have not been talking about card games enough, but I'm gonna say this anyway. It's a card game. This is a card. I'm making a card. I'm doing that. I'm doing that in spite of the will of man and God. I love how I only heard about how much the live action Lilo and Stitch sucked, and how I heard nothing about the live action How to Train Your Dragon. That being said, Stitch in chat and Sabs are great. It's just that those respective properties have flopped recently. There is a book on the fundamentals of dragon riding, which covers mounting, riding, and some third thing. and some third thing. Lord. I've been watching Snapcube play Dragon Quest, which is not a current thing. It's on our VOD channel. But it's been getting me, it's been having me itch for playing like a traditional RPG, and I do have Final Fantasies on the backlog. The only problem is I'm also playing Look Outside currently, a game my good friend Stealth recommended. And on top of that, I'm also playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, so it's like I don't like to play more than 2 games at once, and both of those games have a pretty big overlap with, you know, with your traditional RPGs, so I gotta finish at least one of them. Probably Look Outside first, given, you know, size of a Monster Hunter game. Okay, you know what? You know what? Do you know what? You know what? Guess what? You know? I think this is looking okay so far. I think these proportions look cool. I just gotta center this. Yeah. Yeah, RPGs are fun. You know, as much as I curse the existence of numbers, it's like sometimes seeing number go up in an RPG, is there actually a better feeling? As number 1, hell yeah, we love to see it. Also, hi Beba. I mean, I've said it before, streaming Epic Mickey, but it's like, it's a great thing to be able to play a game you like and know it's like no one else is streaming this. so I get to be number 1 here. It's a good feeling. It's also like I'm giving love to the game I like. I think that's good. Alrighty. Yep. But the bum 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 bum. Okay, okay. Okay. We'll actually rename this layer border. And now we can start working on some actual shit. Oh, my cap locks is on. I do miss that on my Mac keyboard. It had a light on the cap locks thing to tell you it was on, as opposed to like off to the side. So we gotta remember to convey some information. Card art here, and then like around these corners, we need power, alignment, and class, and then description and name. So let's get to working on that stuff. I will put in. I do also, so like, one of the things I was thinking of was the idea that these cards are actually the imprints of clay tablets excavated from somewhere. I liked that idea. Who knows where what my artistic talent will allow me to do. Like, I'm gonna try. But yeah, and then I don't think I actually called this out. Let me... Dark Magician! Shrink! Nope. So for the actual main art, I wanted to make it like the Monster Hunter icons. Because again, like the idea that they're like old tablets describing something, I like the idea of like very geometrical, almost hieroglyphic looking things. So that's what we're gonna do, and then I guess I have to try and make the rest of the card interesting to look at. But yeah. I was saying in Discord about how like it's like I have my problems with modern Yu-Gi-Oh, which I've talked about before. Is a circle geometric in a way. I've had my problems with modern Yu-Gi-Oh, which I've talked about before. But then also like it's like, well, if you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now, you could always try Magic, and it's like, I'm not gonna do that. You know I'm not going to do that. It's like, but why not? And it's like, well, let me see. I like collecting things. What's the current what's like the cheap end of a Magic, like a decent Magic deck? $150? Okay. I see. Interesting. So, like, that's not happening. Should I... You know what? We'll do this. And then, what we'll also do... Yeah. Yeah! Tattered paper. Now I'm drawing tattered paper. All right. But yeah, on top of like the price tag associated with any Magic deck, something I liked in classic Yu-Gi-Oh was like the fact that, you know, fucking the art looked weird. Like the art of old school Yu-Gi-Oh was strange and sometimes like not fun to look at. Summon Skull is like the first card ever made, I'm pretty sure, and he is one ugly guy. Which Stealth is about to give me shit over because he loves Summon Skull. But Daemon. But like, I like that. I like the unique art style to it, right? And Magic, I feel, goes into one of two camps. Is it his day? I hope so. I hope maybe soon. Heck, if Konami was like, we'd like to do a Yu-Gi-Oh crossover, it's like, let me put Summon Skull in one of my cards. Done deal. Also, you want to know something? Here's what we're about to do. Wait, no. Okay. I want to make sure. But like Magic for me is either like it's either a pretty generic looking, like, not, I don't mean to say generic, but like it is what I mean. Like very just standard fantasy art, you know, painterly, what have you. Or alternatively, it is like a crossover. It's either like realistic looking fantasy art, or it is Avatar A. And you wanna know something? The art looks like it looks good, but to me it's not like, I wouldn't call it like the most unique look, the most unique style. Personally. Now Magic's about like the biggest card game ever made. So clearly I'm the freak here. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm a freak. And I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I am the outcast in this one. So it is Magic and its fans clearly have a secret sauce I am not privy to. But in making my own game, I'm like, let me give it its own style. And while the initial stuff I want to do is definitely just like, you know, a very kind of, what's it called? A very flat, geometric, like stonework looking things. I think it'd be cool if in later points, if I do more, it branches out into the likes of into other older art styles from ancient eras. So oh wait, poker is the biggest card game. Maybe Uno. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone sell a fucking Uno card for $3,000. So I Magic might be coming for the crown, Greg. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everyone has Uno. It came free with your fucking Xbox. Not me, man. I have the oldest Xbox known to man. Just looking good so far. It's looking alright. We're getting there. It's the early works, you know. I think the biggest thing I will have to hurdle after this is whether or not I want to have black line art, or if I want to make it a bit more painterly and make it look like actual paper and shit on the card. That's to be talked about later. But yeah. Also, I've never gotten into Pokemon TCG. I honestly, the most exposure I've had to Pokemon TCG has come from some of Terminal Montage's videos on the new on the new mobile game. I feel like maybe that would be the game I'd be into. But one, scalpers still exist for that game too. That game does not necessarily get is not immune from its own expensive card problems. As well as the fact that what's it called? Like, I grew up playing the video game, like classic Pokemon, you know, how it was meant to be played by God and Sugimori. So I had Pokemon cards before, but to some degree in my mind I kind of end up being like, well, why would I play the card game? I have the video games. Why would I play with a deck of cards when I have my loyal team of 6 Pokemon here to help me overcome the league? And the answer is because they offer different gameplay experiences. Especially, you know, if you're into card games already. But I guess to me, to some degree, the Pokemon card game would always live in the shadow of the video game. So at that point, I'm like, eh. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but those are like the big 3, right? I mean, maybe I might even be remiss in having Yu-Gi-Oh! Included in that. But are the major TCGs not Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic? I know there are other ones. I know there's like a One Piece game that's actually pretty big. I think Disney actually has one that people play, question mark. I don't think Chaotix ever took off, Greg. I'm gonna be honest. Not that I know of. Like, it's not that there aren't TCGs aplenty, but the question becomes, are like, if you go to like a fucking con, are people actively playing it? What about Duel Monsters? That's Yu-Gi-Oh! While in fiction it's called Duel Monsters, in our world it's called Yu-Gi-Oh! So, and I included that. Dragon Ball Z card game. Probably. I mean, a lot of things have trading cards just in general. Especially back in the day, they like to do that to advertise things, you know? Of like, look at this character. Aren't they cool? Buy the product. Like baseball cards. But again, it kind of depends if there's an actual like game there and if people are playing it. So, what was I just thinking of? Something about TCGs. Bakugan. Bakugan's kind of a TCG. It has little plastic standees, but there were still cards that you had to use alongside them. I remember watching that as a kid. I do remember talking a while ago, seeing some people talk about like classic, you know, like in the days when there'd be far more of those, of TV shows specifically made as an advertisement for like a collectible thing, a game, what have you. Digimon? Is Digimon considered a TCG? I think there might be a Digimon TCG. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head if there definitely is and if it's popular. or how to play it. Well, like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to bring back. Not necessarily in its entirety, because obviously for the most part, as opposed to Yu-Gi-Oh, which had its manga and story written first and then the TCG after, because the stuff in said manga. Give me 1 second. Are you stinking up the place? Are you being wildly stinky right now? What is up with you? You've been eating? You've been chowing down? I'm literally going to have a bunch of white noise in the background of my stream. Cause you're just like over here Putin, I think. I apologize for the interruption, especially since like I've only gotten that one rectangle done. It just so happens that my rabbit happens to be the stinkiest baby. Like, just the stinkiest man was ever lit. Don't. Now he's like, are you going to give me treats though? And I'm like, no. You've made the audio environment of the stream worse. And you smell. What is wrong with you? You're such a little weirdo. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I was just like, my nose doesn't work great. But, like, is something smelly in here? Yeah, rabbits fart. Rabbit fart is a natural process for them. You don't say. So smelly. My day will be so fine. And then bam. Rabbit farts. Out of nowhere. What about Dual Masters? I'm pretty sure that's the app for Yu-Gi-Oh, Greg. Yeah, you're going to the bathroom now? Shocker. Stinkiest baby. I can't believe you. Separate card game. Well, then I don't know about it. And it's definitely probably not as big as Magic. Greg, out of curiosity, did you forget the assignment? I'm going to say probably. Heck. Just in case, Greg. The assignment was to find a bigger or equally big game to the likes of Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon TCG. No, that's not quite it. I know he's cute, he just smells. Alrighty. Here's what we're gonna do for this. Before I draw this space where the art would probably be Yahtzee, not a trading card game. Not a deck building trading card game. Good try though. One day, Chow will get there. One day you guys will find it. The Rainbow Connection, Pogs. Fucking no one knows what Pogs are now. I don't think people knew what Pogs were then either. From the sounds of it, they just like collecting bottle caps and shit. No, they're not for selling. They're precious and they're mine. Paula, did you play Pogs? In like the schoolyard? I did. Oh. Also, Mike Wazowski. No. We now need a proper sketch layer, because here's the thing. It remains clobbering time. Milady, 'tis the clobbering hour. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I apologize, especially if you have attempted to list the things you like. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't think a lot of people did. Like, maybe Paula is really into Pogs currently, which is cool. Cause I mean, it's not like people didn't collect them for sure. I just didn't know how much people played game of Pogs. But regardless, fucking, I don't necessarily think we have found a game on the same level of previously mentioned card games. Ask not for whom the clobbering tolls. It tolls for thee. Gwen, I don't know what. Greg. Greg, I'm gonna be honest. If you're gonna start making up words, I'm gonna get upset. I don't have Pog collections anymore. I will not. No game within a game counts for sure. Cause like fucking Final Fantasy has a couple card games in them, including Final Fantasy 14, and Final Fantasy 14 is a massive game. But so is Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and there is a smaller number than the total players of Final Fantasy 14 play its card game than play the actual game. I mean, yeah. So therefore, I don't think so. What was I thinking of? I'm getting mad. Streamer gets mad as chat names increasingly obscure Clara Obscura. Anyway, what was I literally talking about? Alright, I will not disclose what specifically I got, but I did get myself a birthday present for my upcoming birthday. And all I will say, it is one of those things. I won it. I both had as a child and won it as a child. So that is as much information as I will give chat to that. Kingdom Hearts, Rechain of Memories. No one liked that one. Even if you are a Kingdom Hearts fan. Especially if you're the Kingdom Hearts fan. Innocence? Is that a card game? Now I think you're now I think you're done making up words and you're just listing them. Like Greg said Gwen, and I said, is that made up? And then everyone went, shit, and went to their thesauruses. That's not better, by the way. No, wait. Hanafuda. I'm fucking... I'm about to put chat in emojis. Cahill, stream was going so well. What happened? What was with the drop off? Oh well, my chat just kept naming non-applicable things as suggestions for big trading card games, and I just got. And at one point, I stopped being able to enjoy that. So. Fucking. Cahill, wait. I've got it. The biggest card game of all. How could we forget? Bop it. Like. Fucking... I'll make sure to stop by Greg's Wizard 101 stream next time. And be like, oh wait, I know a big MMO. Fucking, the IRS. And it's like, what? That's not... Facebook. No, that's not... that's not it either. Is big, not an MMO. Pawn. The greatest game of all time. Co-op on Monday. I do it every Wednesday. Shout out to Greg. I already gave him a shout this stream. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can do it again. Make sure you follow Greg. Or for I don't want to say niche MMOs, but I know you. I'm sniffling. And I'm allergic to joy. Clearly. The concept of joy. Or the the ability to love. That one time Cahill shot Greg. Bang! I make a Wizard 101 account. Greg is so excited to play. It's like, what class did you choose? I'm like, gun. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not gonna do that thing where I try to make up names in Wizard 101. I know there's the one evil wizard. He was in all the ads. But here's the thing, I don't like it when people like make up fake names for properties I like, so I wouldn't do it for Greg. So I shan't betray Greg like that. Missed a vowel in the shout out. Did I added Greg? Oh, you're right. That's what you meant. There we go. More. You know what I'm so excited for when Silk Song comes out? To stop hearing about Silk Song. And then everyone left the stream. No, listen. I have no doubt. I'll probably play Silk Song at some point. Not immediately, but I mean, I definitely didn't expect it to come out this year. But fucking... As someone who was just like, yeah, I liked Hollow Knight. And I think it's weird they announced it so early and then gave us no updates for so long. There's only so much you can hear about people being like, Silk Song, please. About her lesbian sexing. But like there's only so much you can constantly hear about people wanting more news about Silksong before you're like, oh my lord. or as the community has labeled it, Silk Sanity. So like, listen, I feel for you guys. I'm glad your game is coming out. Please. Let it end. I was saying, and I'm glad it exists, because it does exist now. Because a lot of here's who Silksong are coming out. I don't feel bad for people who like to post wear Silksong at every Nintendo Direct, and I don't feel bad for AAA game companies who are going to get their games just absolutely cocked. Like that. Both of those are fine. Right. Oh no, I am Paula. But who I do feel bad for are the indie devs who, given such short notice of Silksong's release window, have had to change their own games release date. But seeing so many of those announcements, I was waiting for the parody of Team Cherry's announcement, and someone did eventually make it, where it's just like, dear Silksong fans, we have taken the difficult decision to delay Hollow Knight Silksong in response to Team Cherry announcing that Hollow Knight Silksong would be released the same day. We understand it. Like, I'm pretty sure I put it in Discord, because there was another fake Team Cherry announcement which is also good, but the idea of Team Cherry also delaying Silksong in response to Silksong, it tickled me. But yeah. To be clear, what was Expedition 33 was this year, right? I believe so. Listen, when I was talking about, like, yeah, I'm glad, you know, people won't be expecting Silksong at every Direct. That is nothing to say about the actual game itself, which I am unironically expecting to take home Game of the Year, if not at the main game awards, from most people. Because especially from the sounds of what Team Cherry was saying after they did announce the release date, it sounds like they took 7 years for a passion project, which is going to end up being bigger than Hollow Knight, the other passion project, which has made them like a massive contender in the space, you know? So I would not... While I have not played many Game of the Year contenders this year, I'm honestly like, I think Silksong might end up sweeping for many reasons. I will be shocked to hear people complain about it, unironically. If for no other reason than Stockholm Syndrome. You know, just it can't be bad, I waited for 7 years. For best co-op multiplayer. I'd be happy. Peak looks good. Considering how many multiplayers for a long time, and by the way, I wish Lethal Company would come back. Can we also... I didn't have a PC when that game was big. Can we start doing Lethal Company again? Because that game ruled too. But considering how many co-op games, indie co-op games, ended up being Lethal Company for a long time, and then Peak came along, and at first it kind of looked the same, but then you realize, like, oh no, it's different, and it's cool. And the devs seem like they have a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't mind seeing that take home some indie and co-op rewards. Yeah. I will say I've kind of sworn off playing Hades 2, because at first it was for the full release, but then that's taken a while. But now, in general, in a wider sense, it is because when I play Hades 1, like, that is what I'm doing. You know? If I boot up a save file for Hades 1, it's not, oh, I'll do this, and that today, and then play some Hades. It's, no, Cahill. We're going to play Hades today. Never got invited to Peak again. I mean, heck. I believe Greg gifted me Peak. So, my problem is scheduling. But we could probably do one. I want to play more. The next 2 weeks, I want to play Kirby, Marvel Rivals, and Link's Awakening. So maybe end of September, we can schedule a big co-op day, since I do have my new PC. That wouldn't be too bad. Zayd literally starts his streams like an hour or two before I get done work. So it's very awkward for me to try and join in. Because what that ends up meaning is, like, I am late. No matter how it works out, I am late to the stream, like a little bit. I'm not there for the very start and hopping on with everyone. And then also, what's it called? Okay, I want to make sure that I had that right. And then also, like, it would mean I'd have to run home as fast as I can to hop on. Which, work has been rough recently. Like, on the best days, I'm tired after work. Recently, I want to lay down and die. That's why I'm hoping I make a successful card game franchise. Very genuinely, just like, I mean, hey, if this gets popular, don't have to worry about lifting people for a living. So, it was Wormin by the time I got home. Here's the thing, Paula. You might not have Wormtown, so that's one thing. But also, Wormtown good. Wormtown good? Wormtown good. But I also get it if you're like, I played Peak once. I want to play Peak. Yeah. I mean, heck, I could take a poll. Because if I had my way, I'd get a bunch of friends together and we would play Lethal Company for a bit. But for a general, if we want to do a community day, I can take a poll on currently popular games. I've just never been big on the idea of doing a community day, especially regularly. Because, like, I try to be pretty chill when I'm streaming. Rule of thumb. I try not to worry too much about numbers, yada yada yada. Even though I've talked about it a lot. Especially in the early days, I like talking about numbers, just because I found it interesting. But when you do like something like a community day, obviously numbers matter a good bit. Like, whether or not people are joining is one of the determining factors for how a stream progresses. And I don't like that. That will stress me out. But I mean, if generally a good few people want to join in on a game like that, then maybe we can think of some stuff to do. I would try to play Jackpot. and it never went well. Yeah, well, I mean, I also think that was my I want to be clear, Greg. I feel ya. Because, like, that's kind of what I wanted to do with my charity thing. I don't want people to think I gave up on that just because, like, it, you know, for any reason other than I don't think it was getting any traction. And especially if I'm doing, like, a charity event, it would be, I think it would be best if it got proper, you know, if I was able to build it up and didn't have to worry about something I was already doing, yeah, a bunch of other little stuff. Minor things. And that's, I feel the same way about community days. You know, some bigger streamers, in general, people who are always counting on, like, at least, I would say 20 or above. Which, like, I've heard that described as small streamer before, and, like, kind of. It's not professional numbers, but still. That's, like, a good amount of people showing up to your stream regularly. If they can always count on that, then it's, like, easy to do an unprompted community day. Because you have a large number of regulars, I would argue, to join in on any kind of game. But if you're like my size or what have you, which a lot of people I know are, heck, I would even say, in some regards, here I go talking about numbers, here I go murdering again. In some regards, I am a smaller streamer than a good few people I know. Like I've looked at some friend streams, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people there, good for them. What was I thinking with that? But, like, yeah, if you're around my size or so, unprompted community activities can sometimes just mean that, you know, people aren't around for it. That's not what you want. You want to hang out with folks. So, I do feel you, Greg. I feel you. Trust me. But also, like, that's another reason why I don't do those kinds of things a lot, because on top of that, like, you know, it's not like, again, I have a million people here and I can't, like, at least look at chat as it goes by. Even if I don't respond to everything, like, I see people and I'm trying to talk and have somewhat of a back and forth, so not in a parasocial way, asterisk, not in a parasocial way. I tend to see this as us hanging out, you know? Like, I said that to my friends when they pop in VC. It's like, schedules suck and I hate to do them. So I'll hang in a private VC, and if the friends around want to hop in to a call, I like that, because then it's just me hanging out with my friends. And I don't like the idea that they have to censor themselves for a stream. I don't think of it that way. They just can't say some particularly wild stuff. So. It'd be like that. Kakarot, we have to blow up the Earth. Come on, Vegeta, it can't be that bad. Kakarot, the Discord message is leaked. Vegeta, we have to destroy the planet. Things close friends will say unpromptedly to get a laugh out of their other friends can truly be the most insane thing. Most insane thing you've ever heard. Out of context, easily career ruining. So, which, I mean, that's one reason why I don't like, I've said this before. Another reason to hope I make a good TCG that people like. Fucking, I hate corporate professional environments. Those are no fun. No fun at all. I've like scratched my face somehow. I'm gonna blow my nose. But yeah, professional environment, no fun. Also, let me. Yeah, things are doing all right. We're doing all right. I feel like to some degree, if I want to give this a more painterly feel, it might end up being as easy as kind of selecting this ink layer I've done and then just turning it into a certain color, you know? I think which is one reason why, even though I'm not completely sure what exact visual aesthetic I want to go for, I'm not stressing it too much in terms of this. I just naturally like doing line art and line art in general. So with that in mind, I'm starting with that. And maybe it will change. Who knows? Who knows anything, really? I don't know shit about quantum physics. Well, that's not true. I know some random stuff about... I know superpositioning. That's always fun. Schrodinger's cat. I heard some... This might be apocryphal. Do not take this as gospel. I heard somewhere that apparently Schrodinger's cat was a critique on quantum physics, but then ended up being its best example. Like Schrodinger being like, isn't this silly? Only for people to be like, oh, that's actually exactly how it works. Thank you for the metaphor. I don't know how true that is. I mean, listen. Tried, but let me Google right now. Can I make Schrodinger a TCG character? Probably not. Does he have an estate? Schrodinger's cat. In a discussion with Albert Einstein to illustrate what Schrodinger saw as the problem of Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg's philosophical view on quantum mechanics. So yeah, it was this is a problem. Interpretations, applications, and tests. Oh no. Beans. That's a lot of dead cats. You like cats in description. That was another thing I was thinking about doing, by the way. Speaking of community events and charities, I was thinking about the idea of doing a charity stream where I work on TCG. I think I talked about this before. TCG art, and then also maybe every like milestone or so play a run of Inscription. Fucking, that's what I wish was a TCG. Like, Inscription got DLC and stuff, like post-release stuff and everything. But I would have loved a multiplayer mode of some kind. It is unfortunate that clearly was not in the cards. Oh, I'm so alone. I believe in the heart of the cards. Also, question. Schrodinger's cat, which we were just looking at, maybe I could fucking read more on it on stream. I don't feel like doing that. So you know what? I kind of like the idea of it like these being like the broken off corners. I don't think that works, so we might just get this done. Erase this very bottom. That's not what I meant to do. Do something slightly different. Anyway, but like, so if what I just read is somewhat true, and it was describing Schrodinger's problem with that idea, rather than him trying to make an easy way to visualize it, how did it get so popular? Did Albert Einstein say, dude, that rules? I'm going to tell everyone what you... I don't care about the context. What you just said was so cool. And then, oops. Hello, gamer? Hiya, gamer. What were you up to? Gamer, did you put like a cat in a box with a decaying isotope? And, you know, we don't know now whether or not the cat is dead or alive. Chibi Robo. I'm assuming on the Switch Online with its new release. Almost done with the game. Hell yeah. Do you like it? Because I was gonna say, like, I when I got my GameCube, I was like, oh, Chibi Robo's a game I've heard stuff about. Maybe I should get that. And I was like, oh, it's one of those games that cost $700. And now it's online. Do you like? Hell yeah. I hope I hope you like its $700 amount. Is there like a level in Chibi Robo? But I'm having a good time. Definitely not $700 worth of fun. Interesting. Is there like a level in that game where you gotta like go around like a kid's room, or, you know, between the outlets and stuff, picking up old trading cards they forgot about and scalping them online to pay for the electricity? That would be fun. Or also, as an example of what I'm talking about, with like Silk Song and stuff, people are like, what are we going to look forward to? Which, I mean, to be fair, a lot of games have come out. A lot of big games that people were looking forward to are like now a reality. But, one, I want the next Kirby platformer. To be fair, I'm excited for Air Ride. I probably can't get Air Ride unless someone donates $700. $700 worth of fun. That I'm excited for, but I'm looking forward particularly to the next platformer. But then also, like, I like when, you know, I like when Nintendo or whatever announces a wild game no one saw coming. I have more fun with that than like when they give updates on a big game we know is coming. You know? Thanks, Greg. I will now go get one Switch 2. This stream will be titled Cahill maxes out his credit card. Cool stream. Anyway. But yeah, like, because like, could you imagine in like the next Nintendo Direct, everyone's like, what are we gonna look forward to? And they're like, new Chibi Robo coming out for the Switch 2. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, wild new game that people are now clamoring for. It's that easy. So I always like that stuff more, especially when there isn't a build-up, you know? Like, I do get the need to drum up hype for a new game, especially if you're like, we need backers. But also, one of the things I always love is when Nintendo is like, here's a game you weren't expecting, you definitely want now, and it looks really good. It is out today. That's some of my favorite shit. So, I like surprises in my Nintendo Direct. Far more than updates on big projects. I feel like the only time I can really remember, like, going into those kinds of streams and being like, please give me an update on this, was when the Epic Mickey remake was announced. Which, one, it didn't do well enough to get a new Epic Mickey, which is sad, but, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm glad it just got, I'm just glad it got a release on PC and platform so people can just play the game easy now. But I remember just being like, give me updates on this, because I want to know, like, everything they're doing with this remake. I want to make sure they're not fucking it up. Which, they did a pretty good job. I can nitpick stuff, but I'm not going to. So that's the one time I can really remember being like, give me updates on this game coming out. Other than that, I like going in and being surprised. If the surprise ends up being an update on a game, that's okay. Like, when they were like, here's you know, Team Cherry was very blatant about, like, Silksong release date is now coming. But, like in a Nintendo Direct, when they were just like, here's information about Metroid Prime 4, it is coming out, yes, after so long. That, I'd count that as a surprise. I wasn't counting on it. I wasn't like, please give me news on Metroid Prime 4. But I was like, oh, that's cool. That is a cool thing I did not see coming. Apparently there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this month. We will see what's up with it. That being said, I might not be able to participate as much anymore because I don't have a Switch 2. But I imagine most people don't. Well, there's probably some, like, indie titles and what have you that are like, well, fucking no one has a Switch 2. Like, Nintendo will push hard for people to buy their console. But indie titles will be like, no one is getting that console. Practical move for us is just to put it on Switch 1. Legends 3 win. Fucking... That's the thing, right? I thought about that when I started seeing people saying that kind of stuff. Like, oh, Silksong is out. We've climbed the highest peaks. What is there to demand in a Nintendo Direct anymore? I'm like, don't say Mother or Earthbound. Don't ask for your mom or the series Mother, also known as Earthbound. Don't ask for F-Zero. Don't ask for Mega Man Legends. There is no Tooth Fairy. There is no Queen of England. I've talked about this before. As a fan of other quote-unquote dead franchises, I will be the first to be like, don't expect... Like, it's nice when... This is what I'm saying. I like when it's a surprise, but I'm definitely not counting on it. I like Mega Man Classic, and to an extent, Mega Man X. I do not expect any updates on those. And I won't be upset when I don't get them. That being said, if you are a fan of such a fan like me of classic franchises such as those, and you're pissed the fuck off that Bubsy 4D is happening, that's fair. I saw people being like, check up on your Banjo-Kazooie fans, Bubsy 4D got announced. And like, I get it. But if anything, I wouldn't be feeling depression. I'm feeling vitriolic rage. Even if it's good, it's more reason to be upset at Bubsy. Sometimes I like a character in spite of like the company that owns them, because I like the character design and like traits and what have you. Bubsy's not. I've thought about it for Bubsy. I'm not really there. I feel like it's to some degree because Bubsy is a thing they've been like wanting to make happen. You know? It's not because there's a dedicated Bubsy fan base. It's because it's because of the sunk cost fallacy. Mega Man Bat would take me out for more bit. This is what I'm saying, right? Like, obviously you want sequels to your favorite games. You want more of that stuff. But better than having it be something that is, like, just stated in a tweet or teased by the director of, like, oh, if you like Mega Man Battle Network, make sure to tune into the new Nintendo Direct. Isn't it so much better when they do and we have one more thing, and then it's like fucking Battleman now, Battle Kid, Mega Man Battle Network, new game, coming out now. I will say that is the best, because like people have pointed out, it's like they do that, announce the game, and then it never comes out. But one, a lot of games they said that for are coming out. And two, I still like it. People get excited. I like refuse to take that away. If there's one thing we can all do in this day and age, it is get excited about new things, new, like, you know, announcement for our favorite entertainment coming out, especially if it's like, oh, this is going to be good. It's been good recently. Or it looks promising, etc., etc. To some degree, I feel like those kinds of announcements are what keep a lot of us going. It's what makes me smile day to day. I was very happy seeing the new Marvel Rivals announcement. It looks cool as hell. People were getting excited about it. I was getting excited about it. So I might. Let's see. When they throw in available on the eShop. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, gamer. You're feeling me, and I appreciate that. Honestly, as much as people point out, it's like, oh, it's just a port or whatever. Getting games that have not been available widely for a while on the Switch and what have you, and when they are announced, it's like available right now. That is unironically very cool. Yeah, sometimes it's not a game a lot of people were asking for. Sometimes it is. Either way, a few people are happier, and that rules, so. But yeah, I'm okay not knowing what the next Nintendo Direct is going to be. I think it's neato. Well, I think it's cool. Have you been there the entire time? Yeah. It's weird. I didn't even see you. I do hope Silksong fans enjoy their game tomorrow. I so desperately, unironically hope it is everything y'all want. Lord above it is not. As someone not at all that has no horse in that race, if people come out tomorrow and say I don't like Silksong, I will that's what will get me to start hiding in a bunker. There's a lot of news these days. And I do not say that lightly. People upset at what Silksong is actually like will have me just like, welp. Can't stay around here. Better skedaddle. People are going to start rioting on a scale never before seen. That being said, as many people have pointed out, Silksong seems to have been developed in what some are dubbing developer heaven, of we just got so excited about the game and kept working on it forever. Because I feel like the only way someone could be disappointed by that will be like if if they had incredibly specific ideas of what it would be like, which I do not like when people are like that. Like, to me, all you should be expecting, really, on a very serious level, is it will be like Hollow Knight. If you're a Hollow Knight fan, excited for Silksong, I feel like all you can really expect is it will be like playing Hollow Knight for the first time again. Which, especially for a game like Hollow Knight, even though I've been saying, like, I liked it, but I'm not going crazy. That says a lot, so as long as it fulfills that somewhat low bar, considering it's the same devs and stuff, then like it will have probably fulfilled its mission. But saying times, like I said, I'm glad I'm not streaming tomorrow, because like here's the thing. So far, I'm happy with what we've gotten done, actually. Don't tell anyone. I like what we've gotten done on Stream Day. But that being said, if I had been streaming this tomorrow, someone would have been like, are you insane? Do you know what today is? Do you know what's happened? Why are you streaming art? You maroon. I do wonder, because like I've streamed a good bit of my Look Outside playthrough to my friend group, because like I said, Stealth recommended it to me. I wonder if any friends will be streaming Silksong, specifically personally, maybe probably on Twitch. I would imagine. I imagine a good few people I know will be like streaming Silksong. I kind of debate whether or not I will. I'd watch that. It's not like I'm trying to stay spoiler free. I'm not gonna get too upset. But the thing is, I bought Hollow Knight on a whim, having like semi heard of it, expecting it to be a pretty small indie game, and then I played like 100 hours of it. So I don't know if I really want to go seeking out Silksong content and be like, okay, time to see what the entire game is like, when I could also just be like, one day, you know what, we're gonna try Silksong and get a similar idea. That being said, I know how big Hollow Knight is now, and Silk Song looks bigger just from like the most briefest of reveal trailers. So I think this looks cool. Like, I'm gonna add a general kind of metallic border, similar to what a lot of trading cards have. But then I get the idea of like doing color with this, obviously, and then I'll probably add the color for the background before I start drawing it, so that way I can give the impression of like carved stone easier with having all the shades. But like having this parchment and all this stone floating above like reed paper or what have you, I think that will be cool. I hope you guys like the idea. I have been trying. In spite of the fact that this is just like rough line work for some simple shapes, you have been here for 2 hours. So I hope if you've been around, you'd be like, yeah, this seems neat. And not, Cahill, you are wasting my time. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Hey guys, I'm here working on my card game. I hope you like it. Oh, brother. Tag yourself as a background fish from SpongeBob. Or, I was talking before, birthday's coming up. I probably will be streaming on it, which is, I forget if I've done that before, or at least last year. I think I've done it at least once before. But one of the things I asked for was a DVD, the full series DVD for Ed, Edd and Eddy, because that is one of my favorite cartoons. And I haven't seen it in a long time because I stopped watching cable TV, and then HBO Max is a shithole. Is literally HBO Max is literally shit on fire, like burning itself, actively destroying itself. So I can't watch it there, and I could probably get more creative with it. But in lieu of that, in lieu of seeking it out in that way, I like the idea of owning the DVD for it. So I will look forward to that. Who knows? So with my new PC, on top of community days, the possibility of doing the movie night becomes more real. Because I think I talked about it before at least once, that like streaming on a Mac, I couldn't get desktop sound. So streaming any movie would probably be awful for everyone involved. But now it's much easier. I would like the idea of like, because I feel like something I'd want, I don't know how other Discords do movie nights. I would like doing it if we were all just hanging out, like, if like, you know, if everyone were in the VC, we were muted and chatting the way you do on Twitch as we watch the movie. I think that'd be a good way, as to make sure we can all talk during the movie without talking during the movie. But the idea of doing that, and then also maybe drawing as the movie runs in Discord, that might be fun, and I could do a couple days like that. So we might end up doing that. Might be neat. An Amazon watch party. The Amazon rainforest. Here's the thing about drawing stone. You just kind of gotta add bits. Just like little just like, hey. Erosion is weird. I tell you this now. It will make things look wild and give scratches and bumps where you think, where you wouldn't think about it. And if you draw a thing shape without adding that, when it has experienced erosion, then you'll be like, why doesn't it look anything like the real thing? Because you forgot the erosion, silly. Talking. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. I know we basically just worked on the fucking card format, but I like this. I don't know if we're gonna get too much else done, but you know. I have to. It's been a short week, but also it's been a very long week, and it's only half done at this point. I got 2 more days before the weekend, and then I got a full week before I have off for my birthday a bit. So like, I'm looking forward to that, but also a lot of stuff to do. I just want to lay down this weekend. Lay down, work on this some more. Yada, yada, yada. Lord, I gotta get the comic done after work tomorrow and Friday, right? And like, last week when I got the comic done, like, I had a typo, which I mean, like, that just happens in general. But but also when someone pointed it out, I remember being definitely exhausted in a very general sense. So like with that in mind, I was not working on more stuff that weekend. I tell you that much for sure. All right, it was this one. I think I mentioned this before. I've been watching some Sentai, some Super Sentai. That I'm looking forward to watching more of that on my own time, as I do random activities this weekend. So if nothing else, I got that going for me. I think I mentioned it before. Sentai is kind of like comfort food. I don't know how other longer, more diehard Sentai fans feel, but to me, it's kind of like, it's very flashy, and it's not without substance, but also like, I don't have to worry about like, oh, all the Power Rangers had to die in order to get the good ending for everyone else. And now it's very sad, and something very bad happened to get a mediocrely good ending, you know? A bittersweet ending. That, I don't have to worry about that with Sentai, right? It's like, it can have decent writing, fun effects, cool designs, and some sick fight scenes. And I don't gotta think about too much else. In some ways, like, effects in Tokusatsu and stuff like that, they're worse than your typical than your typical live-action blockbuster. but they got more heart. Which is a hard thing to quantify for sure, and it's not like every tokusatsu property is good and endearing. But, this isn't great. Anyway, but, practical effects, good choreography, and wild creative decisions help carry it a lot further than more formulaic but bigger effects blockbusters. I think that's part of it. It's always fun to see what people can do on a budget. That's part of the reason I'm into retro games too. It's like they were not able to do whatever they wanted, you know? They had to just make stuff work in order on the hardware they had available at the time. Alright, we got this done. Sorry I spent 2 hours just kind of doing little details and stuff like that. But this is definitely the general vision I have for the cards for this game. So, color it, spice it up over in my own private time, maybe on some future streams as I keep working on the writing. And then you guys will be able to see the future vision once it's done. So let us see. Who is streaming? Paper Box House is streaming art. He's only been going for 2 hours. So how about we raid him? We love raiding artists. That's better than yesterday, where my first choice was like, I've been going for 8 hours. I was like, oh. I don't know if you're ending soon or not, but that's a long stream. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming by. I hope you had a good time. Definitely hope you've been having a better week than I have. And I appreciate your support, and as I was just kind of doodling away today. So, anyway, have a good one, and I will see you next week for probably some Rivals and Kirby. Bye!